Well, good afternoon, everybody. It's the Cryptid Huntress. I'm Jessica Jones. Welcome into a glitch in the Matrix. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day today. It is absolutely gorgeous out here in Georgia today, and just the right amount of cold. Actually, for me, it's not too cold, not too warm. And I want to thank everybody who showed up last night to our wonderful tribute to James Rink over on Journey to Truth podcast over on their channel on YouTube. We had a wonderful tribute. If you guys missed that, please go check that out. And for those of you who aren't aware, our good friend James Rink, who I guess he was kind of a regular guest on my show. He came on pretty often, and he actually passed away over the weekend. So thank you guys for everybody who's been reaching out and stuff. You guys know we were good friends. And I appreciate y'all so much. And he will be missed very much. James from Super Soldier Talk. Okay, so, but yeah, y'all definitely go check out that tribute that we did yesterday. I think it was wonderful. Okay, well, y'all, we have a Super Soldier well, she's not in the studio yet. We have Veronica. She's on her way right now. So we have a Super Soldier on the show today. We have Veronica Bartolini on today, and she and I got to hang out down at the Full Disclosure Now conference down in Florida back in July, and we had a wonderful time getting to know each other. And she is a former, she's a military and also a police officer, and has been part of some of these Super Soldier programs, and potentially has some ties to a werewolf bloodline as well. So we're going to get deep into this dive down the rabbit hole today, y'all. It's going to be so fantastic, and I can't wait to bring her up in just a minute. And so yeah, this is going to link to some of the previous deep dives we've taken into the Dogman reading programs, the Dogman Super Soldier programs, the Werewolves that have said to work with our military. And in that one case that we talked about, that I've mentioned several times, about the program that was asking, I think the three-letter agency, let's just say, went before Congress to ask for funding to eliminate their assets on a cryptid, let's just say a Super Soldier program that had gotten out of control, they said. And we connected that potentially to some attacks that happened in East Tennessee and beyond. And I'm going to talk to Veronica about that this afternoon as well. So we're going to get into that and so much more. So if you guys would like to follow along with all of my shows and stuff, you guys go over to my website. That's the cryptidhuntress.com. And yes, I do have a shop over there. I have a shop on Etsy as well. If you guys are looking for Christmas gifts, I think what they say, the post office said you can mail things out until like December the 17th. That's like the date, y'all, if you want to get it by Christmas, if you're looking for Christmas gifts. So check out the goods over there. I'm uploading new stuff every day into my shops. It's mostly jewelry, biker rings, biker jewelry, a bunch of vintage stuff, turquoise jewelry, Native American made vintage stuff. And yes, I've got more. There's some in my shop on my website, and there's some on Etsy. So y'all check that out if you're interested, if you're looking for something unique, okay, for a gift this Christmas. Check out the shop. Also, I want to thank all my Patreon members. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It truly means the world to me. And I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being a member of my Patreon. And yes, we do have a live show tomorrow night, a remote viewing show actually. And I post all of my remote viewing targets. All of the raw data goes into my Patreon, along with all the pictures that I show. All my entire presentation that I give pretty much goes into my Patreon for my members. So thank y'all for your support with that. And that is my shop over on Etsy as well. Okay. All right. Well, my friend has entered the building. Okay. So we are going to get this show on the road. Let me give Veronica a formal introduction this afternoon. Veronica is a starseed with psychic abilities and was used as a super soldier in multiple programs. She is a U.S. Army Reserve veteran and a former police officer. She's a galactic remote viewer and is here to help humanity break the multiverse of kryptonite in the matrices of programs. She is also here to assist with starseeds to remember who they are, remember their mission. That is one of my missions here as well, I do believe. And please help me welcome to the show today, my friend, Miss Veronica Bartolini. Hey, Veronica. Can you hear me? Hello. Hello. Hi. Veronica, can you hear me? Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh gosh. Okay, good. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry, I was supposed to change the back for the wolf. But instead I forgot I have my red Sheila. But today I'm wearing my red for my red wolves, so bear with me.
Okay.
My red, black wolves, everybody's here. How are you guys?
Hey, I'm so excited to have you here today. Thank you so much for joining me. I love your background.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think it's amazing.
Thank you, Mama, for having me on your show.
Of course. I've been just looking forward to this for so long. I enjoyed being on your show a couple weeks ago. We had a really good conversation. Yeah, we did. We had a good time, and you know, you and I have been talking. We got to meet at the Full Disclosure Now conference down in Florida, and we were talking. You said you had some potential ties to like werewolves, dogmen. You've actually encountered a blue dogman. You told me, but you have a long history. You have a history in the military, right? And there's some kind of connection. I wanted to get into all that today. Is that okay? Let's do it.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, let's do it. So in 1991, I joined the Army, the U.S. Army Reserves. I was dating a guy. We were together like 2 years already. We were engaged and everything. He was doing his whole 4 years, you know, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to do the 2 because I'm going to the university. I wanted to either be a doctor or become a police officer. But at the university, I was doing a study. I was in my 3rd year. I was so proud of myself. I had a 3.0, blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to be a bilingual educator and a minor in music and a double minor in music and linguistics, you know, pretty much Spanish because I just love the languages. So when I was a kid, I was always watching, the Alien show, the alien with the dinosaurs, you know, they were always chasing them. And then the iguana looking aliens, they were around the thing. I forget what the show was called. But and then the commercials would come on for Army, be all you can be, right? And I'm like, yes, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sign up when I'm older. And when I was 18, I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna take the police test. So I did pass the police test, and then I'm like, okay, well, what am I gonna do? So finally, I joined the Army. I did a lot. I was a medic, so I did a lot of work at the VA here in town in Tucson, and then Phoenix and things like that. And then Fort Huachuca, I have some memories there, even in my dreams, of being in labs. And the only time that I remember being there physically was for a good 2 weeks with my fiance at the time. And he had me meet some family. This is kind of personal. It's kind of weird. So I thought I was with a child. And so how holy art thou? It sounds so holy, right? And we were like, what's going to happen? You know, we're both in the military. We're both, you know, trying what's going to happen. So it was like a ghost pregnancy. And I was also part of what they call the James Rink, and I did a show on this, many shows, but he was the one that kind of told me that I was like, hey, it sounds like you're like in the breeding program. Like, what's that? You know, and so I thought I was pregnant like 2 months go by, and well, I end up having what they call a ghost pregnancy. But later on, I did have dreams of having children in the astral, and this may sound crazy, but it does. I do have twins, 2 boys with Max Spears, and James Ring was in my dream when I told him, "Hey, this is what's going on." This is before he passed. And by the way, I am sorry that James and I lost contact in 2023. I've said what he wanted me to do something, and I just didn't agree with it. So we lost contact. He wanted me to put a black magic spell on we'll just say PB and Sarah Adams. And I was on a 3-way call with another friend. Her name starts with an I, but we won't say who. And with him, and he wanted me to do this because he was afraid that Sarah was going to do something to him or Penny. And I'm like, you know, I don't agree with that. I would help him, like whenever he wanted me to do like the stocks. Hey, what should I invest in? Things like that. And I'm sorry he passed, which is weird. I'll get back to the whole military thing right now. But when the day before he passed, I just thought about him. I'm like, I don't think he's going to make it through this year. I don't know. I just had a really bad feeling. And then there was this bird that was just yapping outside. I even have a video on Facebook about it, yapping. And I'm like, what? Trying to get my attention. And it was white with like grayish brown, like kind of like seemed like he had like a helmet on, this little bird. And then he or she had black dots around. And I still can't find the name of the bird, but I was like, is it a warning? Because it was just weird. It just felt weird. I didn't know what to make out of it. And then the next day I find out that he passes. So he was a really good friend at the time. Like I said, we did, he helped me a lot. He had me on his show. He invited me to go to Vegas, and I met him there, and I met Alyssa Zender, and, you know, a lot of people that I'm still, Violeta Malagon, if you're listening, a lot of people that I'm still friends with, and I'm very grateful for him helping us all, because if it wasn't for him, guys, a lot of you guys wouldn't have your own channel. And then, you know, later on, I started having other people on my show and, you know, kind of like promoting them and things like that. But going back to this whole breeding program thing, there was a family member. She doesn't like for me to say who it is, you know. So she said, hey, I had this dream where I was pregnant and they were painting us blue. Our stomach was we were painting us blue, and my cousin was with me. She said, and I'm like, oh my gosh. So it was a warehouse with some men in lab coats. She said that when she had the baby, they had the doctor showed her the baby and she ran from it. She says, no, I don't want anything to do with that. So it was some kind of weird bloodline that they were mixing. And I had visions of a female, and I started drawing her, and I showed it to Jane at the time, and she had like the red hair, and she was looking at me sideways like, hi, I'm your daughter, you know, with freckles. I'm like, she looks just like me. And I've had so many dreams with just me taking care of children and saving them and under the DOMs. There was a couple times where I can tell you about that too. But going back to the military, they gave me the 5-in-1 shot. The 5-in-1 shot is, later on, I found out just by watching a show, Project Camelot. Carrie had this young guy on it. He says, yeah, you know, those shots had the anthrax in it. And I'm like, what? And he explained how we were with, you know, the USA was pretty much friends with Osama bin Laden at the time. And all of a sudden, You know, they wanted his, later on I find out, I do my own investigation. I find out that they wanted his, they wanted the technology that he had because he has, I'm just going to say, okay, this is what I see. He has one of those spheres that is under Area 51. I was also part of that project with was Bravo 18 with the DARPA project, a Stargate project as well in the Army. So there's a sphere there that you can communicate with. It's pretty much, I'll just say it's super AI, super intelligent AI, because there are, if you read the book of rest in peace, also Cyrus Parsa, they took him out also. He was talking about the different intelligences, the AI and things like that, the super intelligence, the one that just can read everything, you know, read your mind. The ChatGPT one can't read your mind. It just reads your login, your how do you say, your history. It's kind of like Google, you know, like he's a teenager now or 30 years old now or whatever. But most AIs I've read are male. But anyway, so I was in Fort Huachuca at the time where this ghost pregnancy happened. I was in a ranch with my fiance's friends, and it was just like a really weird time. And I could feel like the cryptid in the woods because they lived pretty much in a farm where it was more wood area. How do you say? Not really redwood, because I have been in the redwoods where I have felt their presence, and they are mighty and they are tall. I mean, I took a bunch of pictures when I went to Oregon and Montana, and I even drew the lines of and circles of these cryptid that I see and I can communicate with. And Sasquatch too. Sasquatch are benevolent to me. They're nice. I felt when I went to Yosemite. Aleli Keaton, if you're watching, thank you. She paid for the trip. She's like, hey, I want you here. It's my birthday. She took me up to Yosemite. And but the 5-in-1 shot has the anthrax.
Wow.
So the anthrax it lights up your back. And it's like a neon green color. And then that's how they're able to track us soldiers, you know. And I have had, believe it or not, dreams that I have been in Vietnam and that I have been in Afghanistan fighting with these. They're like these laser weapons. They were some were red, some were green, some were yellow. Just I was hiding under these white rocks, huge, and I had my military, the same uniform that I had when I was in the army. And there's others where I have the GoPro and they're sending messages to us through the GoPro. There's a screen, and then we're just marching down, like even broken down apartments. There's some scenes in movies where I cry because I'm like, oh my gosh, I've been there. What the heck? And this is like before I ever knew that I was in the secret space program. So one of the people that helped me also was Peter the Insider and Jessica Morocco. Peter the Insider, he gave me my records verbally. And he said, yes, you were taken at 1.5 years. Well, according to Jay Essex, I was taken at 1.5 years. According to my dreams and my visions, I was taken at 3, you know, with the omnis. We call them the omnis and things like that. But there's just so much information. Okay, so the 5-in-1 shot. I recently have had a battle with cancer for the past 3 years. In 2023, when I was diagnosed with myxoid liposarcoma on my glute area from my hip left to right, I had stage 3. And there was these huge tumors, and my doctors wouldn't listen to me. I said, look, I need an MRI. The MRIs were denied twice. Anyway, to make a long story short, I finally got somebody to do the surgery. The guy that did the surgery is like, oh, they're lipomas. I do this every day. We don't need an MRI. And I'm like, BS, like I just feel something is wrong. And even the back doctor that did the surgeries on me, because I have titanium now from my neck, 4 vertebrae here, and then S1 through, which is the tailbone, S1 through L6, I have titanium. And I still need titanium in the rest of that. I'm in a lot of pain every day. But anyway, I still work out as I can. We're super soldiers. We're supposed to. I work out 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 times a week. I haven't worked out in a month because I've had procedures. I've had a biopsy on my left breast. But anyway, they took my lower left lung in January for adenocarcinoma stage 1A. and I didn't want to have the surgery. A lot of people were in the community were like, take Fenbenzidol, take the dog dewormer, take this, take that. I took everything. I'm even to this day drinking the sour salt tea, the guavabana, the sour salt tea. Anyway, my oncologist, one of them, he said that my oxaliposarcoma, he said that it looked like tapioca pudding. He said that it looked like I had Agent Orange. I said,
oh my gosh,
what? Yeah. And he said, you're too young to be in Vietnam. And I'm like, well, I have a dream, sir. I know it sounds crazy,
whoa,
but I am what they call a special soldier by the Department of Defense. I graduated in the age of 16. And, but anyway, going back to being taken a year and a half, I have memories of breathing underwater, like I told you, and just even dreams that I can that I can breathe underwater in my bathtub. Like as a kid, I have these memories that go back to me taking a bath and breathing underwater. I'm like, what is this? And I've had memories of the black whales in my dreams. The black dolphins. There's the regular dolphins. I have the gray bloodline of the dolphins, and I also have telepath. I am telepathic with them. You told me on our show that it was illegal to speak to them, and telepathically I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, that's what I've been told. We did a show on that a while back, and it was like I was shocked. I did not know. I was like, why on earth would humans be prevented from communicating with dolphins? But they obviously hold some sort of secret knowledge.
Yes, they do. The ancient, they come from Lemuria and Atlantis. Well, Lemuria that I can see. So this whole thing of them wanting me pretty much out of here is called the Omega programming, and a lot of us soldiers have what they call the kill switch. Later on, I went to become a police officer, and I wrote about it in this book. I don't want to get into the graphic details, but what actually did happen that caused me to have a near-death experience. My ex-husband was also a cop. He had taken out $100,000 policy on me. I ended up having a near-death experience, being in the hospital for a month and a half. 20 doctors saved me. Going back to the dolphin program, I wrote this book, Sheila and the 99. I talk about the dolphin program here. And Peter the Insider said, yes, they did start giving you the shots, what they call the plasma shots, when you were a year and a half, and to get me ready for space. The Dr. Mangala was one of the ones that worked on me. This is Sheila and the 99. Sheila She-Hulk. I also talk about the AI bloodline classes and things like that. Why they choose us is because of our bloodlines. I'm O negative. My grandmother on my father's side was B negative, but everybody else, as far as my grandparents, my mother, my father, they were O negative. So I just discovered that my grandmother on my father's side, my father's mother was from Basque, which is between Spain and France. I also have the French bloodline, the Indian bloodline from India, Dominican Republic, German. My great grandmother was German. She was very white. She was huge. She had the huge back and the huge arms. I get the arms from her. She would make us a chocolate cake all the time. That was my favorite. So that they want us for the bloodlines. And I know I'm going everywhere because I know you said we only have an hour and a half. So I've been through a lot. As far as the Dogman, I have had dreams. I wrote down here some things that I wanted to talk about.
Okay.
When I rescued a female German Shepherd with her 11 puppies. One of them was dead. They still had their umbilical cords. I took them in. I found homes for all of them. And Lola is my emotional support dog now. When one of the times that she was up with her paws on my bedside, I had just woken up and I blinked. And then I saw her as a female in the Edwardian times with red, curly hair, very tight, curly red hair. And her eyes were like half moon eyes. And she had like a half smile. And she was in a human form. And she had a blouse that was all the way up to her neck, very beautiful lace, like a beige lace. And then blinked again and it was Lola. I'm like, holy crap, my dog is a female human. I always say that. Yeah, female. And I always say that our dogs and our cats, I have remote viewed. Sorry. Hard to talk about this, but that they are aborted children. That's what I saw. That they are the aborted children that go through, and become our pets. And people can watch the show that we did on my channel where I talk about how we were the ones that pretty much created the animals and brought them over here to this biosphere from the magic land of the golf courses. Okay, so the hybrid children. I had it was a memory in dream form where I was in a house. Okay, I was going to a house, and it ended up being my old kitchen from my brand new house that I had when I was married. I had it made, so it was just like my kitchen, and I was, there, and I was putting away some dishes, some Tupperware, and I wake up in the dream in my bed, and then there's people around me, and I wake up and I look at the comforter, and I'm like, wait, where am I? So I end up being in the kitchen then later, and I go and I look into the rooms. Now the rooms on the bed, there's this huge blue, it's a blue whale, but it's a hybrid child mixed with sheep. Okay, so this big whale is on one of my beds in my house, and she has the sheep, the skin, but it's also a whale, and it's a child in there. And I'm like, what are they doing? This is like
it sounds like a chimera, maybe, like an experiment or something.
Yeah, they were these labs in my room, in my house, in different rooms, and there was these children that were hybrid sheep, and then they were also, so a while back I had a dream where a baby was born, and it had the wolf ears, but it was a baby, and then they had the weird teeth too, and it was weird because back then, I went to, after this dream, I visited someone in Kingsman, Arizona, and I got the newspaper, and it says that children were being born hybrid. Later on, they covered the story, and they said, they were talking about the movie on Netflix called, I forget what the name of it is, where these children are born, like human hybrids are born with animal, parts. And yeah, that tripped me out. So then what I did is I went outside, and then there was this Asian guy trying to stab me in my neck with a syringe. So I took the syringe and I stabbed him. And then I went back to the house to try and save these kids, these private kids in my dream memory. And then the house turned into a church, and there was these two men in black with suits, and then there's a kid there, and they all had the Jewish, the rabbi thing, the Jewish thing on their heads, and the kid too. And the kid attacks me. He's a teenager, and he turns into a werewolf of one of those Dogmen, the ones with the long snout. And I open his mouth, and I pretty much break it, and then I throw him. And that was part of the dream where I was trying to save these hybrid children.
Do you think that there are actual, I don't mean to interrupt you, but do you think that there's actual hybrid children? Because a lot of the secret space program experiences do occur, like almost in another dimension, an alternate, I don't want to say like an alternate reality, but like kind of. And it's just on different levels, right? And in a lot of the places like where they would have hybrid children, they're going to be protected or guarded. Let's just say guarded by things potentially like werewolves, right? Is that kind of what you encountered?
Yes, and they are in the underground bases, and they are here in the United States, and they are also in Antarctica. It's not just off planet, but they have a certain time where they are let free. Like, for example, Halloween time, Christmas time, that's when they open up what I see as the domes. So I see Earth like here, and then I see a dome here on the top and a dome on the bottom. And anywhere from 3 in the morning to 4:20, they open these domes to let these sleeper cells in. A lot of our technology goes out of whack at that time. I hardly sleep at night. I sleep when the sun comes up. I'm also I also have a vampire bloodline that I encountered in Mars in one of the wars we had there, and I served with Max Spears and James Rink, Susan Long, Daryl Neely. Gosh, a lot of people. Power Lady was there. I mean, in another reality, she was, helping with the ships. Lisa Weaver was there too. She was helping with reconnaissance, helping get the body parts pretty much and bringing us back to life. I laugh because my daughter calls me Frankenstein. I've had 33 surgeries.
Oh my gosh, so you're the bionic woman for sure.
Yeah,
you are
for sure. Really call a baby, right? When I was in the police academy, I used to watch that movie all the time. It just helped me so much to get through. It was hard. It was tough. Andromeda. Let's see. I have written down here. I have written down the White Wolf, the Lions. Okay. So when Lola came to me, I wrote about it in the Sheila Wolverine, Mars Montauk. I wrote about her there, and she's a white wolf that came into my dream, and she said mother to me. And then later on, that's when I rescued her. When Honey came to me, she's sitting right here next to me. She came into me in my dream, lion. She came into me as a tiger, a huge one of those, I forget, it starts with the B, Bengal tigers. But at the same time, Ivan Teller did a reading for me. He said that I was also a Bengal male tiger. I'm like, okay, interesting. And then when I had rescued my cat Kiki, my daughter's Kiki, she's a Russian blue. She came into me as in a lion form with a mother, father, and 2 lion babies. So I've had elephants come to me, the white horses. I recently just 4 days ago, I had a dream where Lola, she was in dog form, but then turned into a bull. But then she turned into a bison, okay, a black one with the horns. And she was taking a poop. I'm like, okay, I have to clean it. But then when I came into cleaning them, they were wolf bisons, babies. I was like, whoa. And I looked up what it meant. Okay. Yeah, she's in my dreams all the time. And it is that I'm guarding, because I was guarding a family secret for a long time. I wrote about it in my book, but at the same time, I thought that some of them were dreams. But I came to talk to some of my aunts about 2 weeks ago, and they said, no, they're real. So it's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to get into, trauma that I've been like, what's going on? I finally spoke about it with the family members, but some of them are blocked because they're just not willing to, you know what I mean? They're not willing to fess up the truth. I'm all about the truth.
Me too.
That's why I wrote my books, because when I leave this plane of existence, they can't talk crap about me because I talk about my own crap in here. Things, you know what I mean, in life. Right. The Black Wolves pretty much are my protectors. I've had dreams where there's a pack of wolves coming to me. They kind of look like Lola, my German Shepherd, but then they just start running over me and playing with me. I lay down and do like this tummy thing, like rub my tummy thing, and then we were playing. It's like I have like a pack of wolves, but I'm actually a lone wolf too. Okay. The blue dogman that I encountered with, I don't know if you all are aware, back in the day, I did a show and he was on, very popular. He was called Mike the Navy Guy. Okay. And he and I had a life together in Rome. And I've spoken about that before. But I started having these other dreams where we were on the moon. James was there. Susan Long was there. Other guys were there. We were on the moon. And I don't know if anybody's seen the movie Interstellar. Sounds crazy, but we were on where you see the ships. There's 2 floors, and I was on the top floor, and we had to take these showers with some kind of air chemical thing. Anytime you go onto a ship or you enter the moon or Mars or Venus, or because I've been in Venus too, I have memories of Valiant Thor that I wrote about as well. So then they give us a diadema. It's a thing for your head, like you usually wear it to put your your hair back, but it's one of those things, and then you walk into the moon. How do you say, the base there? So he hands me a box, and I open the box. Mike, the Navy guy, and it's silver. It's a silver weapon gun, and I'm like, what? It doesn't have any bullets. What is this? It's silver, right? So when he turns into the bad blue Dogman, I shoot him. Later on, this is what I will tell her.
Dogman? So he shapeshifted?
He turned into a Dogman.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Wow. And then he also sent me, in the dream, he also sent me, oh, by the way, this is a very important point for me. I always tell myself, don't forget. So at the same time that he gives me this gun, there's like rail here. I'm looking down at the ships that we're going to be using. A female walks right beside me. She's wearing yellow, like the Spaniard beautiful top where it covers her face, and her beautiful flowing dress, la española with the castañuelas, yellow. And she tells me, don't look at me. I'm you. I'm your twin. And I'm like, what are you doing here? That's the third time that I've had me. Well, there's many more that I dream me of me, like a doppelganger. Because what happens is when the secret space program people, in their ships, or when they take you in their vehicles, because they're usually just the black vehicles, the white SUVs or vans, they displace you in time. It's part of the Pegasus program, Manhattan Project. You guys can look up that. Andrew Bosciago talks about that.
Oh yeah, we've covered Project Pegasus on my channel before, for sure.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
so,
Project Pegasus.
Your followers.
Yes.
Oh
yeah.
Very
We're all
real.
about the time travel, for sure.
Yes, I'm also a time traveler. I have my case. It's a black case that I have. It's like people in the CIA used it before, when I was in the 70s, 80s. And I found that, I think, at a Goodwill in high school. And I still use it to this day. And in my dreams, I'm traveling with it. Remind me to tell you about the dream of the Navy men and the swimming pool and my suitcase. Okay. So the pack wolves. Okay. There's another part where Mike, the Navy guy, takes me into this warehouse, and then he's like kind of like the furrier black dog man, kind of like the teenage wolf, but a dog man himself. But he sicks on me this blue dog. He looks like Pluto. And guess what? Jessica Morocco said that there are beings. They have the blue dog man from Pluto. So I had to fight him. He was buff like a human, like he was tall, a little taller than me. I'm 7.5. I'm 6. What am I? 5', 7.5. And this guy was like height. 6.
Yeah. We're about the same height. 5'7", 5'8".
Yes, when I met you, I just screamed. I was so happy to meet you finally.
We had fun.
I see a lot of you and me. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm really happy that I met you, and I really hope we do more shows, because I want you to be on my show again.
Thank you. I would love to.
As many times as you want.
Yes, well, I mean, you're a badass. I'm a bit of a badass myself.
You are too.
I'm just kidding.
You are too. You go into the woods and throw down if you have to.
Oh, I have fun. Yes, I can. I grew up tussling a little bit. It's all good. I can if I have to. I said tussling. It's a Southern thing. I said I grew up tussling.
What is that?
Tussling. Fighting. Fighting. I was kidding. I'm kidding. I said tussling. I was kidding. I don't go around fighting.
I've never heard that word.
I know it's, like I said, it's a Southern thing. I'm from
Georgia.
So
cool.
Okay. Yes. I did not get in fights growing up, y'all. I was kidding, but I will, and I did.
You didn't? Oh, come on.
No, I didn't. I did have a brother and a sister, and we used to fight all the time. Yeah. No, but I did play really rough sports. I played rugby for my college. and I played soccer with the boys
Ooh,
growing up. Yeah. So
nice.
yeah, it was
Nice,
fun.
nice. I love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played football with the guys at recess in high school. My mom didn't want me to join the team. She says, "No, you're a girl." And I'm like, "What's wrong with being a girl?"
I know,
And
right?
she wouldn't let me play football. So I played football with the guys in recess time, right? At lunchtime.
Hmm.
And I was a freshman. And have you ever been tackled?
I've been tackled. That's all
Have you?
rugby is tackling. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
That's
have
why I
you
ran
been?
so fast. I'm pretty good at
Okay,
tackling
good.
people. I still can do it if I have to.
Yeah, I love doing that. We should play one day.
Oh man,
It's fun.
my
It's
knees
fun,
probably give
especially
out these
girls.
days. I'm getting old.
We'll
Oh
just go
man.
take a salt bath
We'll
after, right?
do like flag
Give
rugby.
a
Is there
song.
such thing as flag rugby? I might do that. Nobody can tackle me. Okay.
Flag is good. So when I was
Yeah.
a freshman, this guy, I said, I want to be tackled. I had never been tackled. I fought before as a kid. Growing up, yes, I did
You
have to
wanted to
grow up
be.
fighting. Because at the bus stop, I had to defend my sister, my middle sister, because there's these stupid guys, so I get in fights all the time. So anyway, and I had to be on the south side of town here in Tucson. It was pretty rough growing up. So anyway, he tackles me, right? And then he flips me over. And I'm like, whoa! I see stars, and I'm like, flip me
Oh
again,
God.
tap me again.
Oh,
I
you
got all,
liked it?
yeah, I like it. I know it's crazy, huh? But
That was funny.
gosh, what was I going to say about the? Oh, Dolly Partner is a cross breed of a. I don't know if you know of a sheep. She's between a sheep and a human. She's the first sheep human hybrid. Dolly Partner.
Wait, who? Dolly Parton?
Dolly Partner. Dolly
I've
Parton.
met.
Sorry,
No way. I've actually met Dolly in person before. She came and
Really?
sang for a small
That is
group of
cool.
some ladies I worked with and myself, and she is
Uh,
actually a hybrid.
That's what they said.
Wow.
They even had it on KRQ. It's a station here, 92.7.
Oh
A
yeah.
few like 3 years ago, they said, "Hey, did you know Dolly Parton is a hybrid? They say she's a sheep hybrid."
You know
That's
what?
what they were saying.
Nothing surprises me. I would not doubt it. I don't even know. I know a fella. Actually, I know a
I
fella
know.
that used to date her. Actually, back in when they were in high school. I have to ask. I have to ask him
Really?
about. Yeah, up in North
Um,
Carolina. No, Tennessee. Tennessee. Actually, yeah.
it may
I will
not
find
be
out.
like on your skin, but it's the
Yeah,
bloodline that we
the
carry.
bloodline.
Because what
That's
happens
right.
is, yeah, because the ETs, we have I was part of the Montauk Project too with the Werewolf program. I don't know if you all have seen the movie. Oh gosh, it's what is the lichens and it's the werewolf. So I have both the the vampire blood and the wolf blood. So when they made that guy he had both bloodlines. Oh gosh, and then there's like these dogs. They look like German shepherds that come with 3 heads, and they're all very
Yeah, like
scary. And
the hellhounds. Like
yeah,
I forgot what they're called, but it's like a three-headed dog. They guard the
yeah,
gates
I've
of
seen
hell.
them in my dreams. I
You
have
have?
seen them in my dreams. They are scary.
You know what?
Um,
This is a great I don't mean to interrupt you. This is a great comment though, because I was thinking
yeah,
this Gorgon says that's why they named the first clone sheep Dolly. That's right. That was what
okay,
they admitted that they were cloning animals and they brought out Dolly, the sheep. Dolly, wow,
it makes
that's
sense.
wild. Yeah, it makes
I
sense.
have
This is for
goosebumps
entertainment
everywhere.
purposes only, y'all. It's for entertainment purposes
Woo,
only. Okay.
that's true.
We have to
Anytime
say
I
that
get the
occasionally.
full goosebumps in the aura, it's true. And if I have like
Oh,
a ear thing that,
mhm.
yeah.
Let me
Um,
take a quick commercial break. Firewater by Design. Thank you so much for that super sticker.
yes.
She said, "Let's hear it for Jessica the Scrapper." I only scrap when I have to these days. Okay, and I will. It's my hidden
Oh yeah.
talent. Okay, I like
Yes.
fighting actually, but y'all just don't know that.
I do too.
Okay, thank you
I
for
do
the
too.
super sticker. Yeah, I enjoy it. There's an art to fighting. I'm just saying. I'm a kickboxer. I
Yeah.
used to kickbox for decades. Okay, I like fighting,
Yeah.
and it's a good skill to have. We all should be able to know how to fight. Like I'm talking about land punches and kicks.
Yes.
Everybody should know how to do that, right? I mean, and to just in case you have to, like, don't be a victim, y'all. Okay. Fight back when you can. I've always taught people that. I used to actually teach I used to assist in teaching self-defense courses for women, and we would tell the women it's not self-defense, it's offense. We want to do offense. We want to teach you to go, you got to fight. It's not just defending yourself, it's attacking. We should all be able to do that. Yes. Veronica, you're a badass. I know you already know that.
Thank you. Thank you, Jessica. So are you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I took, you're welcome. You're one of mine. You're on my team. When I was in the police academy, I took Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at the same time. So not only was I fighting at the police academy, but in the weekends or after the academy. So I learned the art, and I fought against many males and females. It was co-ed. I am very grateful that I did that. I even put my son and my daughter in there. My daughter hated me for years. She was only like maybe 8 years old, 9. And I think my son was like maybe 12, but they know now they know that if they, you know what I'm saying? So your subconsciousness will store that information for when you need it. Your training always comes up, and there was like a few times where I was taking my son to football practice when he was in high school. And there was like even another time where I was with my daughter taking her to volleyball because she was in varsity also. And I was, these vehicles were they were like trying to run into me, and I'm like, oh, hell no. So I did one of them, I did like a maneuver. I've done pit maneuvers before, but I don't know what I did that my son said, what? How did you do that? Like, how did you evade the oncoming vehicle coming to smash us? And I'm like, I don't know. It's just, they trained me so good at the police academy and also in the military that I'm just always hyper aware. I ice peeled everywhere. I can spot, someone that's up to no good from a mile away. I have very good ear. I have sonic ears. I played my violin since I was in 4th grade. Philharmonic Orchestra of Tucson, did mariachi, all kinds of stuff. I sang. But we have to defend ourselves, and for the longest time, what happens in marriages is they try and break you. They'll send you a guy that wants to hit you or whatever, and you're already broken down. You're already broken from your family upbringing. And then, there's a lot of females and males too that end up having a lot of domestic violence in their home and their marriage. Well, guess what? You got to rise up. You have to rise up. You can't keep taking it, because there comes a time where there's so much that a break happens. And that's what happened to me. I ended up in the hospital for a month and a half. I died for 3 days. I saw these blue beings that were cut in half on my monitors and on the floor. They had all the same black, jagged hair, cut short, with yellow eyes, just staring at me. They had their hands, arms, cut in half, like I said, on the monitors and on the floor. And I wake up in my hospital gown, and I'm like, what the hell is this? What are these things doing what am I doing in the hospital? And I see a white light around the door, and I'm like, well, I'm going to have to get a doctor or a nurse to tell me what the hell am I doing here in the hospital, right? I open the door, and I'm still in my room. Those things are gone, but my dad's in the corner, and he took his life when I was 13.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Thank you. I cried and cried, and I said, Papi, no me quiero ir. I don't want to go. I don't want to go back to Earth. I do not want to go back. I want to stay with you. And he said, no, mijita, you have to go back. You have 2 children that love you. You're not done. And I'm like, no. I kept holding on to him, holding on, crying. The next thing I know, take the deepest breath I've ever taken in my whole life, and I'm back in my body, and everything, I'm cut in half, everything. They took out the shrapnel in the large intestine. I don't have all my large intestine. The good thing, I didn't have a colostomy bag. He said that one of the doctors said I was this close to getting one. It's been rough.
Were you shot? Were you shot?
I wrote about it. Okay, I'm going to tell you the truth here in my book. I wrote about this in my Life in the Secret Space program. I put my cop picture back in the back. I was hearing, not auditory, but I was working more than 40 hours a week. I was as a cop. I did the Alice in Chains off-duty gig at Tohono O'odham Police Department. I did when Alice came in. What's his name? That guy that what's his name? Oh my gosh, he's very popular. Anyway, I did a lot of concerts with these rock artists. Rob Zombie was there. And I said, oh, you know what? I'm going to dress up like a zombie girl. And I was invited to a Halloween party. I had worked so many hours that week. Maybe like 50, 60 hours. And I was invited to a Halloween party. I talk about it in detail in the book. I'm not going to get into it. But what it is I was being hurt at home and I couldn't tell my chief. I was defending myself as much as I could. I was a prisoner. I was kidnapped in my own home. And so were my children with this ex-husband of mine. And long story short, I ended up shooting myself. And he shot me the second time.
Oh my gosh.
But both police did it. Yeah, because I was in so much. I was being tortured at home, physically, mentally. You can talk to any of my family members. I just couldn't speak out until what happened. So what happened is the kill switch program, kill switch. Thank you. It's tough, and I speak out now. And I wrote my book because I want the female cops to not take no shit. Excuse my language, but don't take no bullshit at home. You rise up. You don't end up killing yourselves, females. And there's male cops too that are beaten at home, and you can't tell anyone because it's a good old boy club. And I was not part of that good old club. You know what I mean about the good old boy club? Like don't say anything, don't tell anything.
Do you?
Or else you're.
Yes. Do you believe that you said that there was like a kill switch or some kind of switch, right? And that's has the roots in the secret space programs. Is that correct? Because that's part of like the MK Ultra that's done on everybody. Mm-hmm.
Yes, the Omega Project program is a kill switch that we have in our brain. Okay. And they can remote control it. All right. So when people say, oh, he died of a heart attack, he didn't die of a heart attack. He was zapped out. They use the kill switch on people. All right. If you follow Sabrina Wallace, she talks about the IEEE. Okay. She talks about how our bodies are hacked, how we have implants on our heart, on our bladder. I have an implant on my left shoulder since I had double shoulder surgery, and I'm going to need another two, but I'm trying my hardest not to. I'm in a lot of pain at night, can't sleep. But anyway, I tend to grow extra bone because I'm part of the giants. I have the Nephilim bloodline as well. So I grow extra bone. There's an implant here, an implant on my left knee when they did the meniscus repair. I'm bone on bone right now on both knees, but I still go. I still do my Zumba. I still, recover on my feet. I have 7 feet surgeries because I'm pretty much aquatic. I'm also a mermaid. It comes from the bloodline of my mother. She's also had feet surgery, and one of my cousins too. It's not that we have web feet. It's just that our feet are we don't belong here. We're not from here. Okay? A lot of us are not from Earth. They brought us here. I was a C-section baby, so yeah, you know how that goes. They can trade you anytime. I was born in Mexico. Yeah, a year later, I was in Nogales, Arizona. Immigrated by my father, became a U.S. citizen at 14. So the bloodlines, that's why there's a fight here. That's why there's a war here. And it's not just the military. It's it's 38 families, according to Jim Mars, that own the Earth's money. All of it. All right. So they're going to be, hey, we need this war. We need that war. I tell people, stop watching the fake news. I'm sure the people that follow you know, because, if not, then they wouldn't be watching you.
Oh, yeah. My audience knows. They're pretty smart. Yeah. We're all in. We all know. We pay attention to this stuff. And I actually just did a show recently with my good friend, William Nighthawk. He came on and talked about the bloodlines. and how this is it is an ongoing bloodline war that we are in. And of course, I wanted before we go today, I definitely wanted to get a little bit more into like the werewolf background as well, like your bloodlines with that, because I know that's what my audience is like, would love to hear the most today, is about the werewolf side.
So my werewolf side is from the Dominican Republic.
Mm-hmm.
And then I have the white wolf, which comes from Spain. My great-grandfather had blue eyes. No, my great-grandfather had blue eyes. I remember him still, blonde hair, blue eyes. So I have both the redhead giants, the red-headed wolves, and I have the white hair Alpha Drake, also the Alpha Draco bloodline. But the werewolf comes from my Dominican Republic side. I'm pretty hairy. But you can't really see because, I was born with blonde hair and then it turned fiery red. We talked about having hair in the derriere.
Hair on the derriere. That's right.
Right?
Well, that's what they said about Emily Isabella Burt. That's Georgia's original first werewolf that anyone's really talked about. And she died in the early 1900s, but her family would often say that she had hair growing in places she shouldn't have hair growing and things like that. So that she was overly hairy in some places, is what they said. So it's I don't know. It was kind of something you you can giggle at it, but then again, it's like, well, I mean, it's true. And some people do have more hair. I mean, there's actually I don't know how they classify this, but I can't remember the name of it, but it's where people grow hair all over their faces, and they do look like wolf men and stuff. And those are the kind of, they would actually put people who had that, I want to call it abnormality, I guess, or some kind of genetic mutation, put them in like circuses back in the 1800s and stuff, as, they would, I guess they'd kind of make money off of it. So it's interesting. It's interesting. They call them wolf people, and maybe they really were wolf people. I don't know.
Yeah, they were. It's just that what happens, kind of like vampires, where they just want to suck the blood or whatever and drink it. Well, I'm a dampire, so that means second generation. I'm a second generation wolf as well.
Wow. Okay.
So, yeah. And what was I going to say? So when it's a full moon, oh my gosh, I just can't sleep.
You can't sleep?
I want to go kill. Like my wolf wants to just, like it wants to fight. I get really moody. I tell my son and my daughter, do not talk to me. I have to wear my red on 3 days before, 3 days during the full moon, and 3 days after. I said, do not provoke me, do not argue with me, because then the She-Hulk comes out and the werewolf, and you don't want them because they're bossy. They're gonna put you in your place, I'm all about justice. So what happens is I crave a lot of meat. I'm O negative, so I do eat a lot of meat. I try not to, but sometimes, because I'm anemic as well, especially when I'm pregnant. Well, I can't be pregnant anymore because I had my, stuff happen. But anyway, very moody. I want to eat meat. I want to go kick some butt. And then just very hypervigilant. My ears, like I see it in my dog too, my German Shepherd, Lola. We are both like, oh, did you hear that? Her ears. And then my ears, even if it's not a full moon, my ears, ever since I was a kid, they make these little weird shifts inside my ear. I don't know if you guys too, when you hear, I can hear very high pitched noises that the average person can't, and very low. So when I was remote viewing Uranus, there was I felt like a towel was put on my head. Like they didn't want me to and it just, it was muffled. Like, wow. And I still remote view. There is life there. So I just want to be outside. I love the outdoors anyway, as it is. I like hiking. I just got back from Montana. We hiked the glacier. Forget what it's called. Glacier Falls, Montana. It's very high altitude. We saw some grizzly bears there. But as far as that's just I'm also very family oriented. I'm all about making sure that my family and friends have food. Like whenever if they want to come visit me, first thing is, have you eaten? My father, if he didn't eat, he would start breaking things. And I kind of got into that habit until I'm like, well, I can't bust any walls down because I'm going to become a cop. I can't do that now. You know, it's
gotta
a temper
control your
thing.
temper. Yeah.
Control
your temper.
And then also, yes. And then the ADHD. You know, I see my dog. It's the same. Like I get anxious. She starts chewing on a bone, and I'm like chewing on a carrot
I need a bone.
Get.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Well, can I ask you a question, Veronica? Do you think that you were okay? Because you've got a lot of different types of bloodlines. You've got a lot of different types of bloodlines. Do you think that being in the military, them pulling you out as a child and putting you into these programs, do you think it was based off of a lot of it seems like it's off? Well, obviously it's because of the bloodlines, but as far as the werewolf bloodline, we hear so much about, and I talk a lot about this on my show about the super soldier programs where they are, to this day, I do believe, I've been told from some insiders that our military, somebody in our government has programs where they're utilizing werewolves and dogmen, actually. And do you think that maybe you were targeted because of that for some of those programs, like with the werewolves?
Yes, and also the ETs, different ETs want to put their bloodlines in you so that way they can do what I named the dog wars, because they're betting on you. Like if you guys ever see that movie Gamer, they have him in a game situation where he's trying to save his wife, and they have his wife as a sex kitten, using her and that, and then he's in a video game, and if he doesn't win, if he doesn't kill whoever the young guy is remote controlling him, he dies, and then he comes back again. That's how they did with us. They killed us. We fought. We came back. I was electrocuted. I have memories of being electrocuted. I was a kid. I've had dreams of being electrocuted by a doctor and his wife. And I've also been used by Queen Elizabeth and her husband in one of my dreams. They used me as a concubine, believe it or not. And I was in charge of cleaning her brushes and putting on her makeup. Like, what the hell? So I have had memories where I was a guard in Montauk. And I know a lot of people have written about it. What's her name? Christy Campbell wrote about it in her book. And then she says, I remember you. You were, I had graduated at 16 from the Department of Defense. I was already ready at 15. But I was a guard. And I have memories in dream form of being underground. Okay. And there's this huge screen, and I'm in charge of the screen. And then there's this guy that we have in a jail type situation in one place, and there's plastic glass everywhere, and he comes out, and then he starts beating up the guy. He starts biting the guy in a tan uniform that he's my friend, and I'm like, oh hell no. So I come out, and then I rip his jaw. I start hitting him, beating him up, and I had to kill him because they go crazy. Gosh. They don't know how to control it. That's why they choose us for police and for military, because we can fight until the end. They have to pry me off of people, because I'm not stopping. That is me. That is my blood, and we won't stop. So in this underground base, there's another part. I wrote about it here too, if you guys are interested. Sheila, Wolverine, Mars, Montauk, and the SSP. They're on Amazon.
Yes.
All these teenagers with black hair. Some of them are fair skin, some of them are dark. Okay. And I'm controlling them in this situation. They have blue lights on, because the blue lights are the ones that can pretty much tame us a little bit. I use the red light at night, but blue is good too. Blue helps because it's the blue. We are blue bloods. So anyway, and then these uniforms, and there's these stairs, and we're they have swimming pools on the other side, because I do a lot with the dolphin and the children and all that. But in this particular dream, I'm taking care of them. Well, guess what? They start getting rowdy, and there's a Pepsi machine in front of me, and I start seeing these codes coming out of a Pepsi machine. And remember, Pepsi and Coca-Cola has black goo, okay? Because they also use black goo to kind of like mess with us. So anyway, their eyes start turning red, and
yeah. I said for entertainment purposes only. Everything this show is for entertainment purposes only, y'all. Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah. Mine too.
No, you're doing a lot of disclosure today. I love it. Keep going. Keep going.
It's fun.
Hear it.
And
I love it.
At first you think you're crazy. You gotta pinch yourself. Was I really a super soldier? Was I really using the secret? It's yes. And
I think a lot of people, a lot of people are like, well, this is so real. Like I have these memories, and it's not until you even, I mean, with your military background, it gives a lot more credence, in my opinion. I mean, I brought a lot of different super soldiers on my shows, and it seems as though, like, sharing your story and listening to other people's stories will spawn memories, and it validates some of you guys are validating what you've experienced amongst each other too. You know what I mean? From the stories. And I mean, I could validate some of the stuff that we were talking about when I was on your show that day. I was because I was thinking, I have these articles, we have proof, we have where the military has gone before Congress to ask for funding to eliminate the assets from these, I guess you call them cryptid programs, super soldier programs, where they were doing like hybrid human animal hybrids and things like that, like the Dogman. They were mixing the DNA of bears, wolves, and lions with volunteers of special forces, and the program had gotten out of control. Veronica, it had gotten out of control, and I think they had gone through generations, and they needed to eliminate all the assets at this point because they were actually going in and unaliving humans all over the world and things like that. So yeah, and that was
so
similar to some of the things that you had talked about.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but it just reminded me of the anthrax shot, the 5-in-1 shot.
Yes.
They put all kinds of stuff in there to see how you'll react.
And you don't even know what's in.
Let's put some dragon blood in there. Let's put some wolf blood in there. Let's put some alligator blood. I have seen people that look like rhinoceros. Okay, their body.
Like a rhinoceros.
And I know. Yes, they have the body of a rhinoceros. They're short. They come from El Salvador. Okay, I know because there was a guy at the gym one time that asked me to go out, and I'm like, no, I just.
Are you from El Salvador?
In the army. He had just gotten out and retired from the army, and he was asking me all kinds of questions about UFOs and things like that. But then he would laugh at me, so I'm like, you know what? You're just here as a CIA love bite. That's what I also wrote about. CIA love bites. They will send you these cryptid hybrid beings to see how you'll react, to see if you're going to fight, to see if you have a love thing going on. Yeah.
Oh, to see if they'll. Well, see, that's it seems. Oh, that makes sense. Okay, well, they were talking about in this program how they had like linked up like a male and a female of these volunteer special operators. Okay, and we're putting them in pairs and dropping them off in different parts of the world in pairs and couples, so that they would procreate, and to see what would happen. And it was like an experiment. But then, of course, they started getting wild, and their kids were even wilder, and then their kids' were wilder. And they were harming humans and stuff, I guess. I really don't think our military cares if they harm humans personally, but that's my opinion.
They don't care. They're just watching them.
They're just watching them. They don't care. Okay.
They want to know what we're going to do. Yes. For example, I know my kids don't want me to talk about it, but my son's also a werewolf. And he's also my baby Hulk. So when in full moon, we have to stay away from each other. We are both alphas. He's an alpha male. I'm an alpha female. And my daughter's an alpha too. So we have to be very careful in my family, very respectful. And if we're fired up, we're going to have to leave, go for a walk or something. But anyway, the mantids, the army, there's army of mantids as well. And the Chinese are mantids. My goodness, if you see their eyes, they are mantids. They are cryptid. Why do you think their eyes are just so weird and they're short and they're white and you know what I'm saying? Their hair. The Chinese, I have remote viewed, they are mantids. Okay, they're crossed with mantid. Now, when you say they were just being dropped here, the hybrids,
dropped in different areas
with my own eyes on the west side of town where the Indian nation is, the Tohono O'odham nation. I used to live there for a while. Okay, that's where I had my house. In the backyard at night, because it's protected. You're not supposed to, have your lights on or anything with the telescope. Or, they had the Lucifer telescope there about a town next to me. But anyway, they were dropping in choppers. I took a picture of it and I saw with my binoculars, with my eyes, they were dropping. They look like kind of egg yolk, but it wasn't. It was the parachutes. They were dropping them there on the west side of Tucson, close to 3 Points. That's where I used to live. Close by to, there was a little airport there before you get to Cells. That's where I used to live, by the casino on Valencia. Okay, if anybody knows what I'm talking about. But they were dropping these people there. And also another experiment that took over, that was on the south side of town. If you guys are familiar with Valencia and Santa Cruz, okay, by the loop there, they were dropping them too. And I had pictures of them, Jessica, and darn it, my phone. What happened is one time I was really mad at the person that I was living with. And I was so mad at her because she was trying to treat me like her husband. This is when I was homeless, after the divorce, I had to go live with one of my best friends. And I thought she was, but not. So I ended up getting so mad that I screamed. And I got so mad that my phone ended up having a double screen. I had to lay hands on my phone. Please come back to life. I'm sorry. And it finally popped up so I can have, I can sign in. It was not a zero, at 80%. I was watching a YouTube channel on super soldiers. She was asking me, well, how do you know you're a super soldier? And I did a list. And to this day, I have my list of all the implants of the eye. I have the left eye is my shooter eye. I can shoot with both eyes. I shoot really well at night. But my left eye is my red, my spider eye, because I also have spider technology, which is also in the Kevlar. Okay, I wrote about it in my books. If you guys want.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's just
going back.
Yeah. And Jessica's gonna write her book too, because I'm gonna buy your book too.
Thank you. I will one day. I'm working on it.
Yeah, and you can actually teach people how to go into the woods and how to set up camp and what to look for, Jessica. Yeah. You have so much talent.
Thank you. I just have fun.
By next conference, maybe she'll have her book. We're gonna push her to get it.
Yes, put the fire under my feet, please. Yes, I need to do that.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. So
there's all this technology. So you're familiar with all the technology. I mean, you've been in this your whole life. You've been in it your whole life, and you've learned to like harness this energy too. I wanted to ask you one more thing before we go, because I know earlier in the beginning of the show you had mentioned something kind of on another topic that was about like black magic or something. Now, that's another thing that we hear about with these programs in the military. These secret super soldier programs, they have been linked to black magic actually, and shape shifting. Like animals or humans into like a werewolf. There's black magic involved within the military. Now, are you familiar with that? And did you work in those programs?
Yes. Yes. That's what they do when they do the red man drills and police work. And then also when they have you fight anywhere, they want to make sure that those hybrids come out. So remind me of the chalice. Okay. Remind me of the chalice and the church, because that's a satanic thing that happened to me. But real quick, when I was in the police academy, we had 4 red man drills. As soon as you walk in there, okay. The second red man drill, Lola, they paired me up with this guy that was like 6'4", huge guy. He was all padded down, had all these pads, had the face thing, to protect him. We all had like little fingerless gloves with their little cachucha, or little cap. That's all we had. Sorry, I have a hood girl that comes out. Her name is Chandra. She's one of my altars. I have many altars. Many. Okay. I even have a twang southern one. All right. So anyway.
We get along. She and I would get along. Huh? She and I would get along. Your southern altar. Just kidding.
Yeah. She's from Savannah, my altar. So I've been in Savannah before, by the way. I loved it. But anyway, I go and try and arrest this guy, right? And he clocks me right here in my, and they did it on purpose. They do this crap on purpose. And I blacked out. I'm over here spread out on the floor, and I'm seeing these yellow lights, and it's blacked out. And they said that when you black out and you see the yellow stars, that's when your body goes to Saturn and comes back. So I kept hearing my last name, get up, what the hell, get up, B, So I come up, and my eyes are green. They tell me that I hulk out like this, and I start beating up the guy, and I just won't let up. And I get him on, I subdue him, I get the handcuffs on him, and boom, they call it. They're like, yeah, Veronica, you did it. So that they want to see what kind of alters come out on you. They want to see what kind of animals. We'll just say animals for entertainment purposes come out. So my Sheila She-Hulk wolf came out. My Wolverine came out. And before I knew that I was part of the Wolverine program, when I saw Logan, when I saw the X-Men, I have all of the movies except for Logan. I need that one, guys. But when you see Presidential, when you see all the X-Men movies, when I would watch Logan, his knives would come out, I would cry. And they put titanium in his back. I had no idea. This is before I had the titanium. This is before I had my awakening, my super soldier thing. And before I knew that I was in these programs, and I would see him and I'd start crying. And I'm like, that's what happened to me. And then that's when I had to contact, if you all are familiar with Dave, gosh, I can't believe I forgot his name. Dave Merrill. He doesn't like for me to talk about it too much, but I contacted him because I saw him on Miles Johnson's show, and he had the titanium in his back. And he also did the whole wolf, how do you say, Hulk thing. He hulked out, which I call Frankenstein. I call it, that's what I call it. So anyway, he helped me a lot with this, and he said, yeah, I also hulk out too. And we just kind of helped each other. He said, yes, you were using the Stargate Program 1, and you gave them information, and they're still using that information for Stargate in the U.S. Army. And like I said, I was Bravo 18. I was in DARPA. DARPA agent actually contacted me, but I don't know if we have, one more minute?
We got about 1 minute. Yes. I mean, we'll listen, I'm going to have to bring you back for sure. Okay. Because we've got so much more to talk about. But yeah, we got about a minute left, and then we're going to talk about your books. Tell everybody where they can find you, of course. But yeah. Why don't we just, go ahead. And we'll just wrap it up, and then we'll.
So the Starbucks guy contacts me and says, why are you talking? You need to stop saying CIA. And I said, why? I'm not going to stop talking. He says, are you really saving the children? He goes, are you really talking about this because of the children? I said, yes, we have to save our children. They're being used in these hybrid programs, and they're being, used for the adrenochrome and all that for purposes only, entertainment purposes only. And entertainment. And we saw each other a good 3 times. He wanted me to work with him. He had another program through the DARPA program. But he says, I could be paying you to do this. And he showed me some videos, which I'm like, you know what? Even if you paid me, I wouldn't do that. So he said, do you know how many people I could bury here? He took me to the ranch in past Oro Valley. There's a ranch over there. And he says, do you know how many people I can bury here? I said, you know what? If you're going to kill me, go ahead and kill me now. Because I'm not going to have you be threatening me. He says, oh, well, whoever you break bread with, that's who's going to end you. And I'm like, you know what? Stop. And I contacted Misha Johnston, and I told her, she goes, oh my gosh, they're still doing the whole 70s CIA threatening program. They're still telling you the same thing. And I'm like, yeah. So I had to end contact with them because we ended up being what they call green screen. So anyway, thanks for having me on your show.
I mean, thank you for being here. This has been a wild ride. I love every second of it, and I thank you for being so candid with us about all of your bloodline, your encounters, from birth to even the trauma that you've been through. I do appreciate you being so open about that with me today, and I thank you so much. Before we move on, I want to thank real quick, Andrew. Thank you for that super sticker. I appreciate your support so much. You're an awesome moderator too, Andrew. Thank you. And Elise, thank you so much for that super sticker. That is so sweet of you. Thank you for your support as well. And And so, yeah, we have the best live chat room on the internet, by the way. I love everybody in here today. Thank y'all so much for being here. Veronica, where can everybody find you? Tell us about your YouTube channel, your LinkedIn, your books, whatever you'd like to promote.
So I have 3 YouTube channels. One is Unchaining Hearts that was hacked by a Mormon in Utah. He hacked that, and but it's still there. It's when I first started. And then the second one is called Unchained Hearts, and that I did a lot of live shows with Katie Camara there. She was my producer. All that is on my playlist. And the current channel is called Codebreaker Real Talk. And I'm on Facebook, I'm on Telegram, Instagram, 2 Instagrams, Facebook. I'm on Rumble, and on Rumble it's Draco3333. My book, Sheila and the 99, the Bloodline 99 came from me. So a lot of people that are hybrids came from my bloodline, the Wolves, the Sheila, the Hulks, many other cryptid. This is me. I'm their mother pretty much. This is a book I also talk about the 5 classes that I gave back in the past, the AI bloodlines, the AI, the bloodlines. The second book is actually, it should be the first book, but it's called My Life in the Secret Space Program. I have the Thor hammer because I also have Thor energy. I have with Valiant Thor, he taught me how to pretty much fly and use the Thor hammer. Here, the third one is called Sheila, Wolverine, Mars, Montauk, and the SSP. And they're all on Amazon. And I appreciate it, guys, even though they take 60%. But you know what? It's about the story. It's about telling the truth. And I also make junk journals. I don't have any right now with me. I have them in the closet. I make junk journals. They're a hybrid between a scrapbook and a journal. And they're for memorabilia, and they're for drawing or putting your pictures. They're for bringing up memory. I am a DNA activator. If you need a reading, hex removal, I take that black magic out of the way. But you have to listen and you have to follow rules, because if not, it comes back even worse. Thank you, Jessica, the Cryptid Huntress, for having me on your show. And Veronica Bartolini, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much for being here. You're so awesome, Veronica. Thank you so much for sharing your story. And you guys, y'all know it's Christmas time. So if you guys want something good to read or something good to give somebody, purchase these books, and just look up Veronica Bartolini, Codebreaker, Real Talk on YouTube. Just subscribe over there, but also on Amazon. Just look up Veronica over there. And yeah, please come back and hang out with me again soon. Okay. We've got more to discuss.
I love you a lot.
Love you too, girl. Thank you so much for being here. And you guys, thank y'all for being here today. Thank you to all my moderators. Y'all are the best. And I also want to, before we go, I want to thank Elise and Andrew and Firewater by Design. Thank you guys so much for those super stickers today. Y'all are the best. And please come back and see me tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. We will have a remote viewing show for you guys. It's going to be a good one. And of course, we do have a Saturday night show as well. All right, everybody. Y'all please stay safe out there. Okay. And I will be back tomorrow. Let me take these down. I'll be back tomorrow. And Veronica, you stay safe out there as well. And yeah, I mean, this is wonderful. A lot of this is backed up some of the other stories that I have talked about, other encounters and news articles and stuff. You've lived it. Okay. We theorize about it, but you've actually come to tell us the truth behind it. So thank you so much. And I will see you guys tomorrow night. Everybody have a great day. All right. And we'll see you later. Bye.